Alright guys, so today we're going to check out a pair of true wireless earbuds that might answer a question that I get asked all the time. There's a lot of people out there asking me what is a good budget pair of active noise canceling true wireless earbuds, because active noise canceling is obviously one of the most popular features in earbuds right now, but it usually comes with a pretty hefty price tag. In fact, the Sony WF-1000X M3s come in at $230, where the new Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds retail for $280. Well, a lot of people don't want to spend that kind of money on a pair of true wireless earbuds, and so the pair that we're going to check out today, which is the brand new Pamu Quiet Mini, is going to be a really good alternative to those expensive brands, but it's not going to leave you feeling like you really have to sacrifice anything. So we're going to check out some of the features, what you get inside the box, and see if it's worth the price tag. But let's go ahead and start with the price tag. Right now it says that the official retail price is going to be $100, but I've read where it says between February 2nd, which is today, to February 5th, they're basically doing like this big sale price for the initial release, so you can actually pick these up for $59. And I'll go ahead and say this right now, picking these up for $59 is a very good value. You'll see why throughout the video. Now these do work with the Pamu Quiet app. The app itself is pretty bare bones, it's not really feature rich, but it does allow you to switch between different controls because out of the box it gives you control over everything but the volume. But you can go within the app, you can switch it where you don't control the noise canceling, and then you can add your volume control that way. So I wasn't happy that you don't have control over everything, but it is nice that you can go in the app and switch it over to volume control. But again, maybe in an update they can add it where you can have all of your controls, because the only other things that the app does is it does allow you to update the earbuds, and then it allows you to switch in their gaming mode. So it even has a low latency mode for watching movies and videos and even playing games. And I can tell you it does a very good job with this. So if you're looking for a pair of earbuds to use with media, this is definitely a good option. Now, as far as some other features that these have, they do use a 10mm dynamic driver, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about the audio. And then they have hybrid active noise canceling. So this is one of those pairs that's using multiple microphones to try to block out your surroundings by blending it in with your audio. And I can say that these do a very impressive job when it comes to active noise canceling. Now, it's not going to compare to the Bose or the Sonys, which again are expensive pairs, but they are blocking out, I will say, 90 to 95% of your surroundings, where I would put the Pamu Quiet Minis blocking out around 70 to 75%. So I think that is very impressive, especially given the huge price gap, and I think that's what makes these a really impressive option. Now there are 3 different sound modes that you can switch between on these. Basically your ANC on, your ANC off, and then you can switch it into a transparency mode. And the transparency mode is allowing the microphones to pull in your surroundings, and I think the Pamu Quiet Mini does a very good job with this. I was able to hear things around me in a pretty natural way. It does sound slightly digital, but again, that's your microphones pulling in that surrounding, so it is going to have a slight digital effect. Now, as far as some of the other technology that these have, they do use Bluetooth 5.2. They also have SBC and AAC playback. And then these have the connection where it allows your device to connect to each earbud individually. And that's important because it doesn't have one earbud relying on the other. So if you're going to use these individually, it also allows you to have all of your audio coming out of one earbud. So it switches it over into mono mode, and then that way you're not missing out on what the other earbud would be playing. Now, as far as the IP rating on these, they do come in rated at IPX4, so this is not a pair that's waterproof, but again, like most noise canceling pairs of earbuds, it seems to be that IPX4 is the norm. So it's enough that you can use these out and about, and it'll be fine if it starts to rain or if they get splashed on. But again, this is not a pair that you want to drop into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, it does come with the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And for some reason, they do add a carrying pouch to keep your carrying case in. I'm normally not a huge fan of this. I do understand that it protects your case against scratches, but I just see it as one more thing that you have to keep up with. But again, some people may use it, so it's nice that it's in the box. And as far as the charging cable goes, these use a USB-C cable. And another huge bonus is the case is a Qi wireless charging case. So if you don't want to use these with the USB-C cable, you could just come in, drop it on a wireless charger, and it will start charging. And speaking of charging, battery life is just okay. Keep in mind these do have noise canceling, so the earbuds themselves are only going to get around 4.5 hours, where with the charging case, you're only going to get around 18 hours total. But a nice bonus is if they do happen to die, you can quickly just put them in the charging case, and it has a fast charge feature where a 10-minute charge will get you an hour's worth of use. Now, it's not like the Hyphen 2s that we reviewed yesterday, where a 15-minute charge gets you 6 hours of use, but it is still nice that it does have a fast charge feature. Now, moving over to checking out the case, I feel like it's very lightweight. It definitely feels a little cheap because it's just all plastic and kind of has a hollow feel to it. On the back, you can see your USB-C input for charging. And then around on the front, instead of just a single indicator light, it kind of has a light bar which will light up so that you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds on these remind me a lot of the AirPods Pro. They do have a stem style design to them, but the stem is pretty minimal. It doesn't stick out as much as some of the other ones. Now, these do use touch controls, and like I said earlier, out of the box, it gives you control over everything but the volume control, but it is nice that you can go in the app and add the volume control, but do know you're going to have to sacrifice something else. And again, I'm just not a fan of this. I just really feel that all of your controls should be on the earbuds themselves. Now, as far as the microphones on here, these are actually using Knowles microphones. Now, we've talked about Knowles balanced armature drivers in other earbuds, and this is the first pair that I've seen that's actually using Knowles for their microphones. And I can say that they actually do a pretty decent job, and so I think most people are going to be completely happy with using these for phone calls. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the Pamu Quiet Mini. I think this is one of the better microphones that I've heard, and I think it does a really good job of picking up my voice. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call public.
So now let's talk about the sound. The sound, in my opinion, is definitely the most impressive feature on this pair of earbuds. And the reason I say that is these sound almost identical to the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros, which that pair has been on a lot of my top lists, but it's also a pair that retails for $150. And it's also a pair that doesn't have any type of noise canceling. So the fact that the Pamu Quiet Mini is cheaper and has active noise canceling definitely adds to the value. So if you're not familiar with the sound of the Liberty 2 Pros, I'll break it down like this with the Pamu Quiet Mini. This is a U-shaped type sound signature, which means there's a lot of focus on the bass and a lot of focus on the treble. So you're feeling the impact of bass, kind of like a subwoofer. In fact, it does a very impressive job with sub bass. It doesn't allow the bass to get sloppy. It doesn't sound muddy or congested. And there's a lot of detail when it comes to the treble. And it's one of those sound signatures where you can just feel the impact of bass and have so much clarity at the top end. It's just very pleasing to listen to. I feel like they did an impressive job with the mids. I don't feel like it's too forward. I definitely don't feel like it gets lost in the mix. So it sits right in the middle. Everything sounds really natural. It's very easy to tell where sounds are coming from. And there is a slight airiness in the sound, which makes you feel like these are slightly more open than most other earbuds. So to wrap this up, this is a very impressive pair of earbuds, and really the only con that I have are the controls. I don't like that you have to sacrifice noise canceling control to be able to add volume control, or sacrifice anything to have volume control. I know it kind of sounds like I'm a broken record saying that over and over again, but I wish companies would just listen and just have all of your controls, and then we could just be done with that. But outside of that, this is a very nice pickup. It's a great alternative to expensive brands, mainly because of the sound and because you're getting some pretty impressive noise canceling. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Pamu Quiet Mini. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.